Good evening, Rocket League fans. Welcome to Minor League Double.
There's still a big chance here for anyone to take this in regulation, and this is
No!
10 seconds are gone in the ball.
With both members of Orange out of net right now, towards the net. This is a need. Numerics puts it in. This game's not over yet.
Bring out your predictions. Bring out your scores. Let's see where we go. Game 7. Winner moves on. Loser goes home. Fridge in position. Scores.
Just an insane series.
I just typed the chat. I can feel my heartbeat. It's so tense.
What a series.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. It's match number 3 of the Sunday Showdown quintuple header here on the MLD Network. I'm, of course, Achieves, joined alongside by Inanimate J, MLD Council Member, Caster, Hall of Famer, and other accolades you could associate with MLD. It's time for the Hurricanes versus Puffins, Jay.
Yes, it is, and this is a big series for the Puffins right now. They need to start making up some ground, and the Tropic Division hasn't been very kind to them, but neither have a lot of their results on the season. Been really struggling to find series wins, and we talked about a little bit on Behind the Goal earlier this week, finding ways to snatch defeat from the jaws of victory.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen a fair share of the Puffin, or at least I have. You've probably seen more than I have, but every time I've seen the Puffins play, they've put up a pretty good show, but like you said, just something falls apart somewhere in the middle of the series and just can't quite rally. Sitting at 9-16 right now in the Arctic Division, the Hurricanes 13-12 in the Tropic. We'll have to see if is this a home or an away game? Because, I mean, space is cold, right?
Tough call on that one. I think this... I mean, Starbase looks like the kind of controlled environment where they'd have, like, climate control, right? So
this is true. You make a good point. We'll call it a draw. But yeah, either way, neither of these two teams playing with their top offensive producer. The Hurricanes, it's Big Q Dog in both the assist and scorer category. For the Puffins, it's Jeremazing. Neither of those two guys are playing. It's going to be Ace Pocket and Sci-Fry for the Hurricanes, and Cloud Fuel and Gravy for the Puffins. Cloud Fuel, very, very busy guy.
Absolutely.
So I'm curious to see how much work the Puffins have really got to put into Starbase Arc. But otherwise, apart from questioning how much work they've been able to do on Starbase, I mean, the numbers for these two teams are fairly close in terms of the per-game averages. The only real big difference between these two teams is their average relative score per game, in which case the Hurricanes have them soundly beat, as the Puffins are at a negative ratio by about 100, and the Hurricanes are a positive 25. So other than that, apart from the assist percentage, this could, or at least has all the makings to be a fairly close match.
It really does, yeah, and I think this one is going to come down to which team keeps their head a little bit more strongly. We've seen it out of the Puffins throughout the season. They just don't find a way to close out a series when they need to. And the Hurricanes, though, they've been pretty solid, but nope, that's just going to get out of hand quickly as Ace Pocket goes over the top for the opening goal.
Yeah, not the start you wanted. It's a pretty decent kickoff. Gravy just doesn't have the boost to really get up there and challenge it. He probably had enough to make it, maybe jumped a little bit too late. And Cloud Fuel, of course, off gathering some boost as he went for the kickoff. But we'll have to see how quickly the Puffins rally. As Fry going to deny that corner boost over on the Puffins end. Ace Pocket right at Cloud Fuel. Cloud Fuel very defensive orientated. He's got a fairly solid defensive mindset. I know he's been playing a lot of 1v1s, so he's got a fairly decent idea of when to challenge, when to approach people coming onto his net. So you see him make another solid save here. Not quite the cleanest touch from Fry. Huge challenge from Gravy out of the midfield. Pocket just going to deny a little bit of time for the Puffins.
Yeah, a little bit. Sorry, she was a little bit out of position here of the Puffins, and they're going to pay for it there as Sci-Fry comes up and over. And you see the breakdown there. Cloud goes in, then Grave gets stuck at the near post there. That challenge has to be accurate. And when he doesn't get contact, Sci-Fry just able to go through, put that one into the open net.
See, I'm never going to call him Grave, because to me his name is literally pronounced Gravy. So It's like there's no... I refuse to call him Grave. They need to win this Season 5 MLD Championship so that when we do a player interview, it can be Gravy. And I can ask him how he wants his name pronounced. I'm sure you've already asked him. I just want to ask him myself.
I mean, that's fair.
But as we've already established, we really like it when we disagree, and you're right. Cloud comes up empty out of the midfield. Gravy all on his lonesome, a little bit delayed getting up there, maybe not comfortable or confident with how much boost he had in the tank and couldn't finish the job.
Cloud also committing on that one here. Puffins in full retreat. Ace Pocket can't find a way underneath that crossbar as he tries to jam it in.
Really smart read there from Fry, recognizing they were about to really commit for something that had a low percentage chance of succeeding, and he's able to buy a couple of extra chances here on the Puffin side of the pitch.
Really solid play by the Hurricanes. You can see the practice paying off for them right now. Their rotation's very crisp compared to the Puffins, who seem to be getting stuck underneath one another a lot. And another example of that right there.
Had more time than that. Yeah, I think Gravy rushed that a little bit. I can't blame him. It's a tough scenario to be on. Gravy probably could have just waited in his own net, but definitely had time to get all the way under that ball and properly backflip it out. A little bit of panic cost him. Ace Pocket and Side Fry expanding the lead here before the halfway point of game number 1. Gravy through both of them. Just got to get it on target out towards the top of the box, wants the 1-2 and will come up empty. It's a huge breakaway chance. Pocket has the speed, smashes the ball really, really hard, and unfortunately throws it wide.
Unfortunately for the Puffins there, the opportunity doesn't fall for them there. And then again, the other way, the Hurricanes, big opportunity to try and bury this game here early. Just can't quite find the handle on the shot.
Fuel trying to put it into space, make sure his team remains in possession here. Sticky wheel syndrome, as I like to call it, along the side wall. Will deny that boost on the way out, but Side Fry will get possession for free. Tap high off the back wall. Gravy on his lonesome. Bit of an awkward touch there from Side Fry, perhaps surprising Ace Pocket a little bit. Still able to remain in possession, however. Gravy catching that lip, and very fortunate that that bounced away from Side Fry. Bit of physical play from Cloud Fuel, playing plenty of private matches with him, also very well acquainted with his physical repertoire. If you're in his way, he will not hesitate to come and give you a little bit of a kiss.
The one difficulty with that, though, is if you time it wrong, it puts you well out of position to try and help your teammate out, especially in 2v2. That committing of resources, so important that you get the execution correct.
Certainly true, as Fry now on a dribble out of midfield, able to get around it, trying to stalemate this one in front of the Puffins net. It's going to take a very favorable bounce for Gravy. He's got a lot of space to work with, does not square the ball up, and it will be driven down the field by Fry, really smashing it. Cloud Fuel, so patient in front of his own net. Not the best clear. Follow through from Ace Pocket. And Gravy able to return fire and down onto the green half. Didn't deny that boost. Gravy had a big chance there to take that boost away from Ace Pocket. And now he's left on his own side with actually 0 as he just uses it to turn around. And Ace Pocket just waiting, buying real estate into this Puffins half. Just seeing what they do with it. We've talked about this a lot with a lot of people in MLD, but certainly a problem I've noticed with Gravy. I have seen them play some scrimmage matches, and definitely the boost management and the proper boost pathing, a bit of a struggle for him throughout the season.
Yeah, and you're right. We did talk about this with a lot of people in MLD, just not really able to figure out where they need to go to effectively path and collect boost to maintain a healthy amount to be able to make plays. But it's not a unique problem to specific players. It's kind of a general theme across the board for MLD. The Hurricanes pick up game 1 by a score of 3-0. Can I say those forest green turbines? Spicy. And 7 shots for Ace Pocket. My goodness. Pretty solid defensive effort, though, from the Puffins. You get 9 shots put on you, and you only allow 3 in. It's really just a matter of making sure they get the offense going. Interesting to see how the Puffins rally moving later on into the series. Yeah, they're going to have to try and pull something out of the hat right now, as still struggling to really put together consistent touches on offense, and that's kind of the key in a 2v2 environment. You need to put the opposition back in a place where they're a little bit uncomfortable and try and force them to defend, expend boost, and ultimately break them down.
Man, I think this color combination might be the favorite one I've seen on that midfield like kickoff camera position, just because it contrasts so nicely. Loud, that's a great pass towards the middle of the box. Gravy, real aggro on it. Unfortunately, just not quite enough speed, and wisely, Cloudfuel retreats back to his own half. He knows that if he goes for that challenge and gets beat, he's asking to be down a goal for his team again. Patience is indeed a virtue. The slow dribble out of the midfield. Nice job shutting down a lot of angles there, rotating his car perpendicular, falls right in front, should just leave it for his teammate, had a chance to finish it, but either way, very aggressive challenge. Perhaps Gravy should have waited, and either way, the communication a little bit off from Puffins. They do not score one of their best scoring opportunities of the series.
It was a little bit difficult there too, because Grave actually waiting a little bit too long, not quite committing to that one when he might have been able to beat Cypher to Ace Pocket! Please!
Using literally every drop of boost too. 25 in the tank, Cloudfuel in the net with 40. Probably could have got up there to shut down that angle a little sooner, because you know that touch has to be coming down. And as soon as you know it's coming down, you can just get up there and close it off. A little bit of delay costs them, however, and again, the green strikes first.
You have to get up and challenge that before it falls down into a spot where it can be dropped, yeah, before it falls into frame. And Cloud's hesitation really costing the Puffins there as they give up the early goal.
I'm just going to leave this one for Gravy. And it actually gets it put right on his nose. Not the best touch from Ace Pocket. Unfortunately, clipped the ball a little bit too hard. Breakaway chance here for the Puffins. Just get it on target. Pass the 1-2 post and out. Tough break for the Puffins. Gravy maybe thinking that was in, not fully resetting himself, and he's real close to that Kane's net. Perhaps expecting a missed clear, but no dice, as it is once again back on the Bird's hat.
How many times have the Puffins had opportunities like that throughout the number of weeks we've been watching, where they have a goal in their sights and they just cannot find a way to put it in the back of the net?
Huge whiff there from Ace Pocket. Sci-Fry right at Cloudfuel again, so present and patient in that net. Gonna deny the boost on his way out. Gravy! It didn't make a difference. Ace Pocket had just enough in the tank. I thought it was such a smart play from Cloudfuel to deny that boost, because Ace Pocket was actually driving right over it as he went back into net and somehow still had enough to get all the way there. Sound fundamentals, however, from the Puffins. It's just a matter of finding the back of the net.
The closer they keep the score, the better opportunities they're going to have, but they have to make one count, because the Hurricanes, Feels backflip, man.
Let's see what happened. Cloud rotated back to net, which is fine.
Feels, backflip, man.
Yeah. I love you, Cloud. Either way. Heart goes out to it. Happens to the best of us. Gravy actually has a pretty decent chance here and just doesn't quite have the boost in the tank to get the job done. Cloudfuels now has a shot at things, but Fry right at him tries to shut down the angle. Just able to get enough of the car in front of it on that big breakout, however. Aggressive challenge from Cloud. A little bit of a bounce out into the midfield. Just tardy is Gravy. Pass towards the top of the box, just off to the left side. A pretty solid passing attempt. It's just the finishing, the putting of the ball on target, really the only problem of the offense that you see.
Yeah, the pass for me, though, a little bit behind Grave, and that's where he really kind of struggled to try and get there. This is right on top of his car, and it takes a really well-rounded mechanical player to be able to get his car up and at an angle in the short time frame that the ball had to travel to him. Oh, what a demo!
What a demo is right. Ace Pocket throwing out the Savage. They took it away, just put it on target, rolls it into the middle of the net. They're on the board for the first time in the series.
That demo might have been a game-saving demo. It's a goal-scoring demo as it forces the Hurricanes to try and recover. They don't end up doing that one. Grave following up, able to get that one in to cut the lead down to 1. 2-1 game now as the Puffins finally find some traction here late in game 2.
It's gotta feel good to find the back of the net. Gravy with 4 shots. Finally one entering into the score column. Ace Pocket trying to buy a little bit of time. Actually reads the play brilliantly. He's through both defenders. Gravy in a really awkward position to have to play this one. Not a lot of boost to work with. A solid doink from Cloud. Just doesn't have the height behind it. It will be returned downfield. Ace Pocket wants 2. Doesn't come up with it. Now it's another awkward play off the back wall for Gravy. Ace challenging this ball so brilliantly off of this side wall. Is able to actually earn his team a chance on net. Cloud Fueled not able to come up with the clear. Sci-Fi so close to securing this game with 17 left. Aggressive challenge. Cloud Fueled doesn't quite come up with it. Neither does Ace, however. It's going to be a race to the net. Cloud puts it in himself. Tries to tip it out. Just can't reach it in time.
Nah, he had to make contact on the ball there. Ace went for the challenge, but he was late, but ultimately recovers better because the ball's moving forward after the initial play. And Cloud just cannot get the clear, can't get back and win the foot race. And that's going to ice it here for the Hurricanes. They'll take game 2 by a score 3-1.
Well, at least if you're the Puffins, you have some form of offense going for you. Just shut this one down and coast on into game number 3. They want one for the road. Now I'll let it fall. The Hurricanes do indeed take game number 2. Albeit a little bit closer. It was a 2-1 game there for a fair bit of stretch. Cloud Fuel again getting things done on the defensive side of things, earning his savior medal, and nobody wasting any time wanting to move the series forward.
Yeah, and I will abide by that, as well as, you know, we know that the Puffins will try and play a little bit on momentum here, and they need to kind of change their own momentum. They got the 1 goal, but then a couple of missed touches ending up disappointing them there as they move forward. And for those of you wondering about the giveaway message, I forgot to fix that one before I went into the break. So it is not for the Steam gift code this time. It is for the t-shirt, which is why the cost is a little bit more expensive. So if you want to get in on that one, exclamation tickets and then space the number of tickets you want to buy, either 1 or 2, will get you entered into that giveaway.
Ace Pocket doing his best to go through every defender he could possibly imagine. Side Fry scoots one across the ground, almost able to shut down the angle from Cloud Fuel. Did deny that boost on the way out. The Puffins are on no boost, and he committed for it. Probably should have just circled back to net. Thankfully, no quick turnaround from the Hurricanes. Challenge from Gravy. Cloud just trying to read these bounces. Ooh, went for it as if Sci-Fi was gonna miss. Turned away at the last second. And sort of half committed and pounded it off the back wall. All Gravy had to do was wait. He needs to realize that Cloud is gonna go for that ball. And that will quickly be turned around on them, and Ace Pocket slams it home.
Yeah, really good lob here from Ace Pocket there. The Puffins committing upfield a little bit heavily, can't quite get on the end of that one, and it's a loft from Ace Pocket into the open net.
And certainly a dual fault on offense for the Puffins. Gravy double committing for the shot that was easily Cloud Fuel's, and unfortunately the finish not quite there from Papa Rocket League. Wants this demo on Fry, did get denied that boost pad and will have to rotate back as he just doesn't have any in the tank. Gravy follow through, just kept away by Fry. Will get that boost in the midfield. Fry now in a one-on-one. Cloud actually read that dribble so well. I thought his timing was so good, but still Fry gets it through him.
Let's see here. Nope, he overjumped it. Goes up and over the ball.
The timing was good, just missed it.
Yeah, that's hard to say. It's almost like he expected Sci-Fi to make a different play with that. So he pre-jumps high, ends up just flipping himself completely over the ball. So can't quite tell if it was a misread or it was a good read and he misexecuted.
Hey, well, they got it right back.
Whatever.
They got it right back. Yeah, because I went to Sci-Fi's cam on that shot. Sci-Fi didn't have the boost. He had 0 boost, so he couldn't really chase the ball down anymore.
I mean, Cloud doesn't know that.
Exactly. But that's, I think, why Cloud jumped high, because I think he thought Sci-Fi was going to be able to hit it again, so he jumped high.
And that's fair.
Yeah.
Either way, 2-1 game. This Cloud gets one right.
Either way.
Puffins.
They get one back off the kickoff. Gravy chilling back in front of his own net. Big booming clear down the pitch. Tough angle to shut down for Fry. Pass towards the middle of the field, out into space, but the only one there is Cloudfield. You have to wonder why you don't just take that out on a dribble. You need to realize you've got the space and utilize all of it, especially on this map of Starbase Arc, because that's literally all this ground is in the 2v2 arena. It's just open space.
One thing that's been a recurring trend in a lot of MLD teams is the decision-making with the ball and what they do with possession. And a lot of teams love to just hit the ball away, try and force people to defend. They don't really recognize when they're going to lose control of a ball. By making a touch like that, you see Grave tries to put that wide by time to get boost, but he leaves too much space for a defender to come and take that one away.
Ooh. Ace Pocket had the right idea, using the wall to get up to that. Cloud doing his best to challenge. Nobody able to find the touch, as now it finds its way back into the Puffin zone. Fry leaves this one for Pocket. Follow through after resetting himself in the midfield. Gravy shot on net right off the nose, and it'll find the top right. Didn't think that was going in. My goodness.
Ace Pocket didn't quite have the ability to get set on this one. Tries his best to get there, gets the nose on that one, but can only tip it into his net. It's a hell of a redirect in your own net, I gotta say.
Right?
But that's the tying goal for the Puffins. That might just be the shot in the arm they need to try and take this game.
Yeah, it's kind of what we're seeing out of this Puffins Hurricanes match is kind of the same that we saw out of that Bulls and Hawks match, except a little bit sooner. Like, the Bulls, as that series went on, kind of got themselves back into the series slowly over time. They didn't really feel like they'd settled in until game number 4. Puffins seem to have done it here a little bit earlier now in game number 3. They have a chance to take this one in reg, perhaps overtime. Just a matter of locking down on defense. Fry off the back wall, Gravy on the dribble. Shut down by Pocket out of the midfield. Cloud had a little bit of time to work with. However, very wary of a quickly advancing Sci-Fi. Huge miss. Just tip it off the back wall, let your teammate handle it. They delay the offensive push for a little bit, and it cost him. It is cleared away by the Canes. Punched downfield by Gravy. How does he get this one out? Smashes it quickly across. Cloud Fuel didn't have the boost to follow through. It's a bit of a race, and he put it in his own net. He needed to realize he had more time. It could have even been wide.
Let's see here. Sci-Fi with the initial ball.
That was definitely wide.
Definitely wide. Cloud Fuel, a quick common case of C-ball, hit ball, because it's going towards my net, and unfortunately gets the angle wrong. 3-2 for the Hurricanes yet again.
One small defensive lapse. Gravy trying to make it right off the kickoff. Comes up short. Now, Fry off the sidewall. Gravy missing that boost. He's only got 11 to work with. He's able to buy a little bit of time, but he's going to be pretty much useless on this push down field because Fry's got 100. He will just simply beat him back to his own net. If he picked up that boost, the Puffins score.
Yeah, you're right there. He really needs to manage the boost a little bit better. Cloud Fuel also, at 8 seconds left, down a goal, is so far back. And Sci-Fi able to make the save because he has so much time to get set.
Oh,
no! Feels bad, man. Oh. Press F to pay respects.
What was that snatching defeat from?
The jaws of victory. Oh, man.
Man, they're tied 2-2. They're tied 2-2 with a minute left. They get an own goal and a bar down and out at 0 seconds, and the Puffins are out in game 3. It's just brutal. It's just brutal. We're going to go ahead and remake the server. Sci-Fi and Ace Pocket seem like they would like a new one.
Yeah, I think both of the Puffins as well on about 100 ping there, so they're more than happy to get that one here. We'll go ahead and do that, send them out to the teams here, but Achieves, Madre de Dios.
Madre de Dios.
Oh,
Oy.
man.
What do you gotta do to score? Oh, well, they'll have to rally themselves here in game number 4. It's been a slow push back in the light if you're the Puffins, but they've been doing a good job of it, honestly. After game number 1, they settled in all right in game number 2. Certainly a strong chance in game number 3, just slipped away right at the end, and we'll have to see if they rally here in game number 4. That's all that really said.
It's damage control at this point for the Puffins now. Down 3 in the series. You know for a fact that they're going to lose this series, but it's a question of how bad is that scoreline going to be and how far back now are they going to fall in what is a Blue Conference wildcard race that is essentially out of reach for them now. And we talked about it a little bit on Behind the Goal. The teams that were so far back of it needed a huge week this week to get back in it, whereas the Orange Conference teams really didn't have to do that much work because it's such a logjam. And now with, you know, the Puffins falling further and further behind, it's it might be an off season early for them here in season 5.
We shall have to see what happens. For now, take it one game at a time as Sails over the nose and Ace Pocket fits one beautifully into the top right corner. My goodness.
Cloud just coming out a little bit too early for this one, realizes all of a sudden he's beaten. There's nothing he can do about that, but stop earlier in the defensive rotation. Give himself the time and the space to read the ball more effectively and try and stop that one.
Cloud trying to roll one around the corner. See that? What Sci-Fi just did, if you noticed, I was on his camera. He literally just waited because he knew he had the time. Cloud Fuel had went back to his net and just waited because he knew he needed to take that time to get Gravy back in the net. Probably makes that save. We're still probably locked at zeros. Fortunately, one small lapse costing the Puffins another goal. This time cut down. Fry goes through 2, gets it over the head of Cloud. Bar and out. Tough break there, but what a dribble. Puffins thankful to keep this a 1-goal game.
Sci-Fi really well known in the community for those dribbles there. He's had a number of chances over the weeks to just really burn defenders who don't read it effectively, showing off his skills a number of times so far in this series.
Cloud Fuel goes right at the middle of that green net. Sci-Fi already rotating back. Challenge out of the midfield, shut down. Ace Pocket right on top of him. Wants 2 off the sidewall, comes up empty. Gravy downfield. Through 2, my goodness, just drilling through the nose of Sci-Fi. It's a race back to the Puffins net. Ace Pocket picks the right side post and in. Picture perfect placement. The lead extends to 2.
You see Grave at the start of that rotation. He's right underneath that corner, and Cloud makes the challenge out of the diagonal channel. Can't make any contact on that. It's a double commit for the Puffins, and Ace Pocket makes them pay back the other way. 2-0 now, the scoreline with 90 seconds gone off the clock.
Cloud Fuel went for the Death or Glory challenge. If he comes up with a win on that 50-50, it probably plays out fairly decently, at least in the form of a second opportunity on net. Fortunately, you go for it too early, you come up empty, and you get just what you got, as Sci-Fi again does it all himself.
Well, Cloud Fuel kind of doesn't give himself any options. When he goes in for that ball, rather than control it, opts to just lose the ball by slamming it off the sideboards. Sci-Fi patient, grabs that one with the breakout type S and drives it right past Grave. Can't make the challenge, and it's a 3-0 game now for the Hurricanes.
And challenging off those sidewalls even more detrimental here on Starbase Arc, just because they're angled towards your net. So, you know, if you smack it off the sidewall, it's going to bounce pretty much right out towards the top of the box. Cloud rushing in out of the midfield. Shut down by Ace Pocket. Gravy high up onto the wall, right at Ace, believe it or not. Shot to the far post and slapped away by Fry. Cloud, again, super aggressive challenge, not allowing Gravy to get back on defense. Very fortunate Fry came up empty. It's not going to matter. They can't rotate back. All they have to do, whoever's challenging out of the midfield, just wait 1 or 2 seconds to get your teammate back on defense before you go, and this wouldn't be a 4-0 game.
Yeah, and I mean, Death or Glory challenges are right. You have to make sure you hit those ones, but you gotta wonder how much of this is starting to creep into the Tilt Fuel level of play. because he's just lunging at everything right now and not really making contact and really positive decisions with the ball.
Oh no, Gravy had 72 boost. What the heck? How did he not make that save? Let's take a look.
Over-rotated
just
past the
went
ball.
forward.
Yeah, he
Yeah, just
didn't
went
hit the
too
brakes. Didn't hit the brakes quick enough, yeah.
It's more angled into the net, I think. He just takes an angle closer to that corner. Either way. Should have made the save. Tough break once again for the Puffins. This kickoff not in their favor either. It's Cloud really needing this boost. Pounding it off that back wall. Thankfully, Ace, also on the no-boost train, has to secure his own. Here's a chance for the Puffins to get one in. What a shot from Cloud Fuel. Catches it beautifully off that back wall. The only problem is now they're down by 4 instead of 5.
You're right. I mean, it's a great shot. Don't get me wrong. I think it comes a little bit too late in this game and possibly in the series. I mean, when you score a goal like that, when it's a 1-1 game, and it's a kind of a momentum builder. Like, that one is one that you stand up and go, let's go. This one is like, okay, we got one, but I think we're still looking at game 5 here to try and take something out of the series.
For sure. Whew, Gravy just able to get the nose on it. Cloud's going to have to make a tough second save. An ace pocket right on top of it so quickly out of the midfield. That's his 5th goal here in Game 4.
I mean, he just waits patiently for the Puffins to make a mistake. The mistake, not the touch by Cloudfuel there, but really the play before it, where they both chase the ball into the corner, following it right underneath it, and then nobody can make an effective clear away from that board. And it's just easy pickings for Ace Pocket.
Great challenge from Sci-Fry. Gravy, death or glory. Cloudfuel's the one hung out to dry, and it actually comes up with a save. You're kidding. What a clear from Cloud. I have no idea how we made it back in time, but the deficit stays at 5 for the orange and blue.
Just call it endophysics and move on with our lives. Grave.
Gravy, so close, but not enough. Cloud off that sidewall, right at Sci-Fry, hands it right back to the Puffins. Bounce off that lip, right off that 45-degree angle. Cloud Fuel break check. He's able to come up with the ball in front of his own net. A lot of space here for the Puffins. They kind of start congealing on each other, though, again. And look, they're both just chasing this ball around, just not giving each other any.
Yeah, congealing, Achieves is a very good word for what they're doing right now. They just kind of, they get drawn to one another, and then they kind of stick.
Gravy took a little bit of a deeper turn into the net, gave himself some space. Was able to come up with the save there. Hoping to avoid Brazil for the past 36, or for the last 36 seconds, not the past. Actually goes right through the defender. No, that feels so bad. No boost. I just don't think he had boost. Yeah.
He didn't. He had 0 trying to get to that one. But what's worse, missing that one or having the ball spike off the bar and hitting the ground with 0 seconds left last game? I'd have to say the latter.
That's true. Just because this game you know you can't win.
Yeah, last game you at least had a chance. It was a tying goal.
Ooh, another great shot from Cloud. Hello. I mean,
boy.
He spends a lot of time on defense, but boy, when you put him in a tough shot scenario, he'll find the back of the net somehow.
I had to roll the endo around a little bit awkwardly to get the front on that, but well taken aerial goal from Cloud. Again, a little bit meaningless, still down by 4 with a second to go. We know that they're not going to win this game, but if they can start doing that earlier in a game before they're down so far that the goal doesn't really matter, they have a chance. But they have to stop giving up so many shots.
Exactly. Honestly, the only reason that this game was 2-6 was just because that midfield challenge game. It was just too aggressive for what you were going to get out of it. I mean, all they have to do, if they want another close game like game number 3 was, literally as soon as your teammate is running back to midfield, he crosses that midfield line, go for your challenge. Mm-hmm. Until they get to that point, you need to wait. You gave up too many freebies for the Hurricanes this game just because you went for these super aggressive challenges trying to force things that probably weren't or had a low chance of working out. And it's fine to do that when you know that you've got your opponent beat to the ball. But when they've got you beat to the ball and you're trying to make a read and your teammate's not back on defense, you're just compounding mistakes at that point.
Yeah, exactly. You have to make sure that your decision making is spot on, and that really starts with being just a little bit more patient when your teammate is out of position.
Well, this
Like
time
that.
has a chance to start off right, but it's still wide. It's a heartbreaker to start Game 5 off with an open net and miss it wide. Cloud Fuel, challenge out of the midfield, has another chance here to get things done. It doesn't matter. It's going to be tapped in by Gravy. Cloud Fuel throws out the nice one. The Puffins are on the board first.
Couple of fakes here as Ace Pocket misses, Cloud goes up, Sci-Fry chasing the ball underneath. We talk about it a little bit there. When you come back the same side as the ball, you have to make sure that you make contact because you don't have the amount of time that you need to react effectively to it. Sci-Fry misses and Grave taps in the open net.
Gravy comes up with that boost on his own half, kind of figuring out where to place himself defensively. Really had to scramble to get back there in the final seconds, makes a second save. He was only credited one, but for what he had to do, Gravy doing a heck of a job. Buying just enough time for Cloud to get himself reset, and now it's another push forward from the Canes. Gravy towards the net, gonna be off target. Another huge breakaway chance for the Puffins, and they just seems like they struggle to put that ball on frame against nobody out of the midfield. Those sort of half volley shots, just really struggling to be on target.
The problem with how Grave mechanically executed that shot, we'll talk about it a little bit after this one goes in, is Ace Pocket on the rotation punching this one home. Just catches Cloud Fuel in rotation. Death or Glory, you're right there. But back to the initial play by Grave. The way he attempts to mechanically take the shot is he late flips into the ball. The problem with that is you have very little precision with where on the car you're hitting the ball, and it ends up pulling it wide. If he tries to just touch that with the corner of the Octane hitbox, has a lot more control and probably wouldn't have missed the net.
Well, your precision on the late flips, that comes from how you approach the ball more than anything.
Yeah, that's also very true.
Exactly, because if you're trying to another one just wide, that one gonna be too far to the left as well. Trying to perhaps get the pass, maybe the shot to the left side, just not gonna be enough. But I mean, if you're trying to late flip the ball, and you're trying to put it in a specific area, you have to understand that if you late flip, you're going for power. If you've decided you're going for power, your approach needs to be in such a fashion that you can get it to the side you want it to go.
You're either going for power or you're going for deception. And in this case, I can't
You can do both if you approach the ball properly.
You're right. A lot of people don't understand that aerial play really comes down to how you approach the ball and the line that you take in your approach on the ground, and then subsequently the direction that you take off in with your momentum off the ground.
Precise. CJ, we understand things.
I don't know how. We're both pretty terrible at the game.
Right?
What a pinch!
Oh my goodness. Hello. Cloud Fuel just sits on top of one, smacks it off a cane, and finds the back of the net.
Really good read by Cloud, just drilling that one off the front of Ace Pocket. Sci-Fry had no chance on that one, and Cloud Fuel with the deadfall celebration as the Puffins take a lead here.
It's just a matter of can they hold it. As long as they avoid their Death or Glory challenges, I think they come out on top here in game number 5. They're honestly not playing very bad. Great heads-up bumps from Gravy, just couldn't quite finish it. Now that they have fully reset, they properly time the challenge out of the midfield. Grave does it all himself. My goodness. You know what? Gravy? Fine. Good job, Gravy Train. I'll give it to you.
And knowing that Cloud Fuel gets demoed lets Grave go up and actually dodges the bump from Ace Pocket that would have thrown him off. Dunked Sci-Fry in, but okay, we know from historical data that the Puffins the Puffins had a 4-1 lead and it wasn't safe. That was back on Neo Underpass in week 2. So 5-1, I think the safest we can safely call it in favor of the Puffins achieves.
Sure. Cloud diving out of the corner, had to make a quick attempt at that ball, was able to keep the Hurricanes away. Tap downfield, maybe a bit of a roller. That's actually a huge chance. I don't really blame Gravy for not going for that. I mean, with a minute 30, you're up by 2. Oh my goodness, what was that from Ace Pocket?
PlayStation madness, I guess? I don't know. He got like the last 4 frames of his roll to chip that one over.
For Death or Glory, Gravy, huge double commit. It's the 2-on-0. It's the race back to the net, and Gravy will make it. So close. And
solid recovery.
solid recovery is right. It's just the final 65 seconds here for the Puffins. They'd like to walk away with a 1 in the win column at least. Gravy, take your time with this. You've got the lead. You don't have to do too much. Cloud Fuel hasn't made it back yet, and they are so lucky that that was wide. But this one going to be wide open, and they missed that too. My goodness. The Puffins wore their lucky underwear today. For Game 5, at least.
they dug him out of the laundry after the clenching that was required for games 1
After
through
Game
4.
3.
Yeah.
He said, you know what? The reason that ball didn't find the back of the net at the end of game number 3 is because they weren't wearing their lucky underwear.
Right?
Blasted downfield by Cloud Fuel. As they get down to the 10-second mark, I feel pretty confident saying this one's over just because. Let's try. Now just kind of cruising along to the end of the series. They've battled all series long. I mean, to be honest, the Puffins didn't really... I don't think the Puffins got beat by the Hurricanes so much as they beat themselves. Does that make sense?
Yes, but it only does because of how many times have we said that about the Puffins this season. The mistakes slowly compound, and they struggle to find traction, or they find a way to lose from winning positions.
Or at least taking themselves out of winning positions. Just
Correct.
Really, the only thing that beat them was that Game 4, where it was really on display. Just super aggressive challenges out of the midfield, way too aggressive. And then games 1 through 3 kind of just... the defensive positioning was a little bit off. They weren't really able to get their offense started forward down the pitch. And I think if they would have had a little bit of time to warm up, perhaps we could have had a bit of a different series. But either way, tough show for the Puffins. At least they ended on a high note. We will thank them for playing. Congratulations to you, Hurricanes, as they will take a nice 4-1 win here this week. And what do we got next on the menu, Jay?
Let's give away a t-shirt. Last call, folks. If you want to get in on this giveaway, we are giving away a t-shirt with the logo of your choice. And it is going to cost you 30 loaves of bread to enter this raffle. Type exclamation tickets space 1 or 2 in the chat if you want to get in on this right now. This is your last call to get in on the giveaway. 9 entries so far. Pretty good odds if you ask me. We'll give it another couple of seconds here. I know Achieves is enjoying his league logo shirt.
I do. I actually have it somewhere. It's over that way. Yeah, I would have to go in and get it out. I do indeed very much like that shirt. It's quite soft. Which one is it the MLD League t-shirt that you're giving away?
We're giving away a logo of choice, actually.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah.
Okay. So you get to pick. You can have the MLD logo, or you can have... Could they even get like one of the old ones, like Ducks World Championships or something like that?
I mean, apparently the old logos and everything are still available. Like all the old designs are somehow still like lurking on Teespring, even if they're not in the storefront. So, I mean, if you wanted to go back, and buy a Ducks season 4 T-shirt, you absolutely could. But why not buy a season 1 Elite shirt?
Follow your dreams.
Follow your dreams.
We're not here to judge. What do you want? You want a giveaway.
All right, let's go ahead and snap this one off here real quick, and close. Ray! Congratulations! Hey. The guy who gets everything when opening crates will get himself a free t-shirt.
Never mind. Redraw that. I am upset now that you've reminded me of that. You don't win, Ray.
Congratulations, Ray. You get in touch with Cathexis to get your t-shirt. Well done, sir. We're going to move on. We've got 2 more matches up next. It is a return to the Sky Volcanic matchup as the Ducks, the Season 4 champions, face off against the Demolition, who, with the Bulls having dropped 5 games to the Hawks earlier today, have a chance to move up the Volcanic Division standings. You're watching MLD Sunday Night Showdown. It's a quintuple header heading into match number 4. We'll be back right after this.